See, I already knew a lot of y'all would be watching this video because unfortunately we live in a world dominated by fear and hatred and all those other emotions rather than just being genuine and loving. So I'm already hip to that, so I'm using that to my advantage. So anyway, I want to know how I got set up, huh? Okay, cool. Let's get into it. So, if y'all don't really know, if y'all don't really know, I used to do Uber back in the day, and doing Uber, you meet a lot of beautiful women. It is what it is, and sometimes they be choosing, and you exchange information, and bam, y'all become cool, and y'all go out or whatever the case might be. That's how I met my ex, by the way. I was doing Uber, and I was working at night in Silver Spring, and she was coming off the movies with her friend and her friend's son, and we just started talking, and that's how everything happened. We exchanged information. But anyway, there was a woman that I was dealing with, right? She was like young, 19, 20, and we started being cool, everything like that. But of course, when you start dealing with somebody, you don't really know what's in their heart. So we were chilling and everything, and next thing you know, she was on her phone. Of course, women be on their phone, so you don't really pay attention to that. But she was like, can we go somewhere? I need to buy something, or I need to go to my people's house, or whatever, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm doing Uber, so gas money is not no issue for me. So I can take you anywhere if I'm that kind of nigga. Like if I fuck with you, it's whatever. So we went to her people's house, right? And I noticed like she was on the phone a lot, and I was like, okay, whatever. So we get there, and then she go into my fucking that armrest that's right here where you put shit in there. She goes in there, take my wallet, and try to jump out and leave. So I see that, I'm like, hold on, where you going? So I grabbed her, and then she started yelling like, help, help, help! He's trying to rape me! He's trying to rape me! And then a whole bunch of niggas came out of nowhere, and they came out, and they came at me and shit like that. They tried to get me out the car, so I got out the car, or whatever. And mind you, I do martial arts, right? So they came out and they tried to fight with me and shit like that. But them niggas bitches for real. That shit didn't really hurt. But I was just in shock, so I was yelling. I was like, ah! That shit was funny, right? And we was in the hood. That's another thing. That's why you can't deal with them hood rats for real, because you don't really know them. You know what I mean? It's just anyway. So yeah. And again, I sound fucked up for saying that because not everybody that's in the hood is like that, obviously. But I'm just sharing my experience, right? So yeah, so that happened. There was like four or five niggas coming at me trying to fight and everything, but I do martial arts, so that shit wasn't nothing to me for real. I was looking for weapons more than anything, like knives or guns, but there was none of that. They saw me, they you know what I mean. They was like, oh, he's not gonna do shit, and I'm not that type of guy for real. I'm more about self defense more than anything. But so they came at me and shit like that. It was like five guys. We hustle and tussle, and she made it seem like I was the aggressor, whatever. So she took my phone and my wallet, and so yeah. So basically, she got away with my shit, and those guys was like, yeah, get the fuck out of here, you bitch ass nigga. I was like, okay, whatever. So I got back in my car, and I went to the closest CVS. Um, I don't remember the name of the street exactly. But I went to CVS, and then I called my best friend, Mustafa. Some of y'all don't know. But, he pulled up on me. That's the type of nigga he is. He pulled up on me, and he was like, nigga, you good? Huh? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I was like, yeah, we gotta get at them niggas. I was like, no, chill, chill, chill. So anyway, I'm gonna see if I still got that picture of my torn jacket. Like that shit was fucked up. Like I look fucked up, but I still took a selfie. Like yeah, nigga, I'm that nigga. Anyway, so later on, I went back over there and I was like, look, if you don't give me my shit, I'm gonna call the cops on you. So she was like, oh, I don't want no trouble. So I'm gonna give you back your phone, but I don't know where the wallet went. It's like, whatever, just give me my shit and I'm done with you. So long story short, she put my shit in some type of box and she was like, yeah, go get it. It's in the box, blah, blah, blah. So I went back there and I got my shit and I dipped. And then she tried to talk to me again after that. And I was like, bitch, is you crazy? uh, but then, and that's pretty much it. I'm sorry. I thought it was more cinematic than that, but that was just minimal. And I got lucky for real because it could have gotten worse, I could have lost my life, you know. So I'm grateful to the Lord and thankful because I should have known better, because I see that's another thing. A lot of times you be getting a lot of game like the macking shit and everything, and I knew certain things, but my spirit wasn't right, so I wasn't even applying those things because I thought I knew everything. I didn't have that mindset of a student. Like, no, you really gotta, nigga, this is your life we're talking about. Put your ego to the side and learn some game. I wasn't like that at the time. I was young. You know how young niggas be. You can't tell them shit. But at least somebody put me up on game and I had a little bit of humility to at least read the book. You know what I mean? So I was aware of a lot of things, but I just was like, it couldn't. Let me do me and see what really happens. Well, nigga, it don't work like that. If somebody puts you on game, you better listen to every single word, nigga. Take notes because that can really save your life. I try to put my young niggas on game. Again, it didn't work like that. One of my niggas got a kid and got a wife and got a situation, and he's not financially stable yet. So he's going through a lot right now financially. And I feel a little bit responsible because I saw the signs. You know what I mean? This nigga was fucking a whole bunch of women. I was like, nigga, you about to get a baby. Like, jokingly, right? A lot of times I be joking about shit, but I be dead serious. Next thing you know, that nigga got a kid, and now he gotta really get it. He ain't got no options. It's not cute no more. He gotta provide. And I feel like this could have been avoided. But again, you can only do so much for people. You know what I mean? So I gotta let go, But I love people so much that I'm like, nigga, I've really, but hey, it's in there here or there. But if somebody puts you up on game, take notes, please. You know what I mean? A lot of times we think we so high and we know everything, but we really not. Nobody's above getting checked. Nobody knows everything. Nah. If somebody takes the time to put you up on game, take notes. Look at Jay-Z, for example. A lot of y'all niggas throw salt on this man. A lot of y'all niggas talk shit about this man. This man came out the ghetto, became a billionaire. That shit should be a matter of study. You know what I mean? Like, even when I'm listening to some of his songs, I feel like I'm not doing enough. I need to literally, for real, if you're being honest, I need to really, like, take notes about every lyrics. Like, that's how valuable this brother is. You know what I mean? And I'm not doing that, but the fact that I'm listening to him a lot, I'm able to understand a lot of things. And even the book, Think and Grow Rich, when you listen to Jay-Z's first album, a lot of the stuff that he be saying is in that book. Somewhere in my mind, I'm like, he must have known about this book. Because how? You know what I mean? And he put it in such an elegant way that everybody can understand. And y'all don't really understand that it's the same information that be in that book. So y'all don't really have to get that book for real. Just listen to Reasonable Doubt. It's the same shit. But again, that's why I'm like, any woman I deal with now, she gonna have to be 100% on my team. I'm not finna argue with you. I seen this shit go wrong so many times. You know what I mean? Recently, my ex got in contact with me talking about, oh, I need help. They got my baby. I need a hug. And, she knows all the good shit to say to me. So my dumb ass was like, where you at? I went and got her, and y'all know how that shit turned out. I don't really want to feel like I don't feel like going into it. But it wasn't what it was. Okay, she was fine. Her baby was at her parents' house. It was cool, and she didn't need no hug. She just wanted some weed. So anyway, she came to me, got her little weed, and some money, and dip. You know what I mean? But I don't even mind. I don't care. Get what you can, because I'm not here to use you or take advantage of you. But you're not going to take advantage of me. You know what I mean? So that's why now she's part of my block list, because I seen what you're about. You know what I mean? You're selfish. And you're gonna say that because you grew up with a family and your brothers used to steal your food, but there's no excuse for you being selfish. At the end of the day, you gotta work on your shit. You're 30. You know what I mean? How long you gonna use that as an excuse? Anyway, so yeah, that's neither here or there. But I'm just trying to get you guys to understand, like, you gotta take personal accountability and responsibility for where you at. You know what I mean? If you don't like where you at, which a lot of us don't, I'm not satisfied, and I'm probably never will. You gotta develop the habit of getting better every single day. You gotta listen to Bob Proctor. You gotta listen to other people who are putting positive reformation into your mind, because the way you do anything is really the way you do everything. You know, it's really like that. And I used to take that shit for granted, but now that I really think about it, it is like, when something as simple as drinking something, right? If you just pay attention and notice how you drink something, did you ever thought about how you do it? Like, haven't have you ever realized that you always do it the same way? You know what I mean? Like, when you wake up in the morning, have you ever realized that you do it the same way? When you hop out the shower, have you realized that it's always the same foot that come out before the other? It be little shit like that. You know what I mean? And then you start to notice certain things, and you start to switch it up. And you do small things like that, and then it leads to other things. It leads to more knowledge. It leads to more understanding. And next thing you know, you're doing a whole bunch of different shit that looks amazing to people, but it's really not. We are creatures of habit. Like, the reason I speak 3 languages is not because I'm so special. Nah, I was put into an environment where I had no choice but to speak Spanish. When I went to Spain, it wasn't no French except at home. It wasn't no English. I didn't speak no English. It was Spanish only. I turned on the TV, that shit sounded like this. I didn't understand shit. But I went to school and got familiar with it, and over time, I became fluent. You know what I mean? You can become fluent in anything. You can do anything if you're willing to take the time and to take the steps, you know what I mean, day by day. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, dedication, and effort for everything. So when you see somebody great, just understand they're not great because they're just like that. Nah. A lot of time is somebody that really put in the time, dedication, and effort, because the Lord blessed us all with the same gifts and ability, which is to have control over our thoughts. You know what I mean? That's the difference between us and animals. Animals, they function on instincts. We have evolved to the point where we have a subconscious mind that we can take over. The difference between rich people and poor people is in the way they think. We all have the same 24 hours. I'm trying to get at Elon, you know what I mean? Because how in the fuck is he making 500 billion and there's still people starving out here? Anyway, but that's neither here or there, just work on yourself, you know what I mean? It's the best thing you can do. Work on yourself. Get better every single day. Get better every single day. Everything going, you know what I mean? Get better, you know what I mean? Everything gonna be added up to you, like a Bible verse that's in my head. Like, it says something like, Ye seek first the kingdom of God, and everything else will be added unto you. It's real. What is the kingdom of God? I don't really know, but if I had to take a guess, it would be something to do with how your subconscious mind is. You know what I mean? Like take control over your subconscious mind. Think about everything you do. Think about what you're listening to. Think about what you're eating. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you live in the life of your dreams and beyond. Like, I'm trying to do some shit. You know what I mean? Like, for the universe to be as big as it is, there's no way we're the only ones. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm not trying to scare nobody. That's not the point. But there's more to life than what we see. Okay, everybody knows that. So I'm trying to really, you know what I mean, see what's up. So anyway, that's enough of that. See y'all in another video.